This is Cardi Lee, and you are watching 52 Cards, 52 Decks, 52 Weeks, where I take a look at a deck per week in 2019 and highlight one card per week. This week... Hey guys, and welcome back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for my 9th deck in this series, 52 Cards, 52 Weeks. Today I'm going to dig into the Gaia deck, and I'm going to feature the 9 of Spades. As you can see, the 9 of Spades has these really amazing organic pips with really beautiful design work. The layout is fairly standard, but again, the pips are completely custom. They've got that neat little line at the end. If you flip the card back over, you can see this beautiful, super organic, flowy kind of DNA double helix type design. Now this deck was produced by a young artist on Kickstarter in 2017. And his name is Ben Sinclair. He was 17 at the time when he designed this deck in conjunction with Forge Arts. If we take a look at the tuck case, we can see that this is the Gaia Dark deck. The Gaia Day deck is actually a lighter tuck and has a kind of a earthy brown background, same pattern but a little earthy brown. This is the night deck that was an exclusive unlock with sealed decks, and then this was just a regular unsealed deck that came along later on. Similar beautiful art, but with a skyscape instead of a dayscape in the back. Lovely elk on it. It's all done in a nice matte finish. Beautiful moon pops out there on the back. Little savanna elephants down below. The term Gaia is a concept that says that Earth and the animals all affect each other as one big organism. And I think that's why the back has this very organic, interconnected feel to it. I love the color, nice green. When we look at our deck, first I want to take a look at our 2 bonus cards. They're both ad cards. It says Ben Sinclair and then the Forge Arts. And if you flip them over, they are this beautiful connected drawing of that nightscape with some eagles flying through the desert, the moon and the skyscape in the back. When we look at our jokers, you can see that they're 2 non-identical bats. Each of our suits is a different biome. You can see the layout is fairly standard, but when we look at the courts, they are far from standard, very quite beautiful, and it tells a little story here. The spades represent the alpine biome. The air is thinner here in the mountains, and the sun takes on an intensity you've never before seen. You feel you could touch the roof of the world. Each night you listen to the owls hooting and the occasional howls of nearby wolf pack, even if so far they've eluded your sight by day. But each evening you can watch the deer slip up to the edge of the mountain lakes to drink, unafraid of your watching eyes. There may not be another human for miles, but as long as you're by this lake, you will never be alone. That's the alpine biome. Quite beautiful. The next biome we're looking at is the tundra biome. You can see that that ace is really spectacular. It's got some ice on it. Again, the moon's coming through it. And if you look at the pips, lovely, beautiful, radiating red. It looks almost like a geode. And now when we go out to the courts once again, there's a little story. You've come to see it before it's gone. Bundled in your parka, the ice shelf stretches out before you, gleaming in the chilly afternoon light. Where the ice meets the water, a pod of walruses lies stretched out, basking in the sun's rays, while a solitary polar bear walks in the distance. Really nice. Next up, we've got our clubs. It's the jungle biome. First is that ace, really lush. And this is the rainforest. You've braved weeks of rain and vegetation as thick as you've ever seen. You've braved insects, disease, and poisonous snakes. You've lain awake in your tent listening to the low, angry growl of a leopard slinking through the trees. But now, as you reach your goal, you glimpse the majestic silverback gorilla loping to rejoin his troop below. You know that every single step has been worth it. That's the story there. And finally, we've got the Savannah with these, again, really, really amazing pips. I just voted in the Dotties for most beautiful pips, and this, if this was this year, I definitely would have considered these guys for super beautiful pips. And then, of course, that ace. You can see the elephants in the background with the moon. Really lovely. I haven't seen the day deck. I imagine the art is very similar, but with a brighter theme. I kind of like the dark. I like the green background especially, but here's our Savannah story. The pride relaxes beneath the shade of an acacia, the lion and his mates watching the grasslands around them with a lazy eye. Nearby, a single cub frolics and his mother gives him a gentle cuff to keep him from bothering the adults. They can smell kudu on the wind, but their bellies are already full from the morning's hunt, and not one of them rises from their rest. They are the monarchs of this land, and today their kingdom is at peace. So that is the Gaia deck, and I think that we can all be super impressed at this deck. I am surprised that it didn't get a little more attention. I've only recently come across it. I think it's because I'm new-ish to collecting cards, but I'm surprised it doesn't have more of an intense following just because it is such a lovely deck. I want to thank the artist for coming up with this really beautiful design and this really beautiful theme for this deck. I really like it's not a playful deck, but it's a beautiful artsy deck, and really, really nice job. I hope to see you guys again next week for my 10 of spades, and I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week. Thank you for joining.